Protecting settlements from villainous scum, it's Settlement Patrolman. The action figure every child wants. Wearing the all-new Manticore Dominator suit with light-up jump assist thrusters. Press his backpack to hear Settlement Patrolman speak.
Not seen you around here before, Commander. Is that a Karma P15 in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? Hey, don't point that at me.
When alarms sound, Settlement Patrolman rides into action in his surface reconnaissance vehicle with pop-up turret and glow-in-the-dark wheel trims. Settlement Patrolman. Surface reconnaissance vehicle and action figure sold separately. Available from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers. Microelectrode, ion battery, and circuit switch not included.
Are you struggling with paying fines? Do you lose sleep in hyperspace worrying about docking at the next space station? If the answer is yes, then you need to call Cowell & McGrath Fine Management Services.
I got scanned while in Federation space and was caught carrying slaves. It was an unexpected expense that I couldn't afford on top of my fines for damage caused whilst docking.
We can help you consolidate all your existing fines into a single large fine, payable in regular instalments at what is almost a competitive interest rate.
I called Cowell & McGrath Fine Management Services, and they helped me pay my existing fines before I got a bounty on my head. They really saved my life.
At Cowell & McGrath, we've helped thousands of pilots whose fines had spiralled out of control.
I dared not go near a police star system. Got so desperate that I'd almost resigned myself to a life of piracy. Luckily, I found Cowell & McGrath's services before I actually murdered anyone in cold blood.
No fines too big, no criminal record too damning. We're here to help you, no questions asked. Find us in the Lave business directory.
I'd got into debt as a result of a massive counter lawsuit by Watt and Prittney. It happened because I'd taken advice on Python protection insurance from... Wait a minute! It was you!
Cowell & McGrath. Minimum liability, zero accountability. Warning, balances may go up as well as down. Missed payments may lead to repossession of your ship, seizure of cargo, or the issuing of a death warrant.
Are you a commander who's tired of interstellar injustices? Do you find yourself constantly needing to express your displeasure? Look no further. Introducing the Manticore Pitchfork, crafted for the discerning commander who demands more than just a plasma gun to make their point. Made from ultra-durable, premium materials, these pitchforks are designed to handle even the most heated encounters with unruly aliens, malfunctioning droids, or pesky space pirates. Whether you're settling a dispute over asteroid mining rights or rioting about a non-compulsory feature, the Manticore Pitchfork has got you covered. With its sleek design and unbeatable durability, you'll be the envy of every commander in the galaxy. The Pitchfork will be in stores later this year, but if you cannot wait until then, you can get 3 months early access by visiting your nearest Frontline Solutions. Order today, and while stocks last, receive a free displeasure beacon. This lightweight handheld device combines all the functionality of a naked flame, but with zero oxygen requirements. Now you can wield your torches in space, and even for a small fee, change their colour. The Manticore Pitchfork, when 280 characters aren't enough.
welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite.
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
And the fantastic
Community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from a foreign Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 498 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix to Fire, otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Radio, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have a rather packed bar, actually. We've got our SRV Banksy, that's Alec Turner.
Good evening, and curse that flippin' neutron star. More later.
We have our Staff Liaison Officer, be Commander Psychic, otherwise known as Claire.
Hello. I don't have a more later. More later.
And we have the full-on Chris Collective today. We have the Chris Mark 5.
Hello.
Hello, little biggin.
Hiya.
And we also have the Chris Mark 4, who's also doubling as tech.
Curse that delayed bus service. Hello. More on that later.
At least it's not a train bus replacement service.
Yeah, no rail replacement service. No.
No. There we go. Now, if you wish, you can join us live. I do believe Chris is propping up the bar at Lave.
I am. I'm at our usual reserve table at the Lave Station bar.
Excellent. So you can go and annoy him. We don't have Ben this week because he's on his holidays. So he's off sunning himself. But if you can't get to us in game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio. So let's have a quick going round the crew because we've got an awful lot to get through tonight. So we'll start with Chris Mark 5.
Okay. So what have I been up to this week then? This week I installed ED Copilot and got that all set up and working with the additional fleet carrier welcomes and changed them around. And I deleted one because when somebody called Alec Turner came on, it said something, so I deleted that because it was annoying.
That feels rude. That feels rude and unnecessary. That's coming out of the gate, fighting, swinging.
Yeah. And then I completed the expedition on Nomansky, punched some Thargoids and a low AXCZ, which was fun. And I also spent, I think, half a day setting up Fallout London.
Ooh. How difficult is it to set? Well, half a day is quite a long time to set up the mod.
Yeah, but I don't really mod things that often. It's quite involved depending on where you have Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition, because you need the Game of the Year edition.
Gotcha.
But there's some guides around, and read them, watch them a couple of times, and you'll get it. And then away you go, and it's really quite fun.
Excellent. Right. We'll move on to Alec Turner.
Hello. I don't know what I've done this week. What have I done? We've been battling another round of feeling poorly with colds, literally like within days of getting rid of the last lot, which is a bit worrying. But I think I'm fine for ECM. I'm doing
Yeah, don't bring that lurgy to ECM.
No, I'm necking
bring
orange
it.
juice.
Bring it, kill us all.
It'll be fine. I replaced a bunch of locks on my back door, which was interesting. Well, actually, only interesting to me probably, but turns out I had all this cool ironmongery, all these sort of iron bolts, but there was one bit that just kind of came off, and I basically realised that a good shove and a burglar would just be straight in. And we've had that for quite a long time like that. Anyway, so I just replaced all the ironmongery, which is good. Bit of chiseling and stuff, which I like. Mostly I've been buckyball racing. It's actually been a really fabulous race. Finally over. We should talk more about it in community news, but yeah, it was a damn good race. So I've been zooming back and forth to the Pleiades, which is so beautiful. I mean, Artemis Lodge is one of my all-time favourite stations because it's lit so beautifully and nipping around Obsidian Orbital, and there's a asteroid base out that way as well. There's a black hole. There's a nebula. Glorious stuff. Really, really fun week doing that.
Excellent. More later. Excellent. Commander Psykit.
I did not buckyball. I noped out of the buckyballing. I regret it a tiny bit, but also I enjoyed doing the other things that I was doing, and I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So I decided not to buckyball and went on the test server instead and played about with the Type 8 because I had access to that. So that's been really, really fun. What else have I been up to? Finished the expedition on No Man's Sky. I think that was last week. I finished the expedition on No Man's Sky. Still playing No Man's Sky though. It's been it's dragged me back in. I'm not gonna lie. I started a new save a couple of weeks ago, and it has genuinely pulled me back in, and I'm really excited about playing more No Man's Sky. What else have I been up to? ECM prep, bits and pieces, badgering the four of you for things for ECM. I've been prepping some Dungeons and Dragons related stuff for a one shot that I'm doing in September on somebody else's channel. On Saturday we went to see Deadpool and Wolverine, which is a good film. There were some very dodgy moments of CGI that are kind of jarring and take you out of the action. However, there are some incredibly funny jokes in there that land insanely well. And I highly recommend watching it. But maybe watch 2 seasons of Loki first, just as a thought. You might be a little bit lost if you haven't watched 2 seasons of Loki, but also 2 seasons of Loki are really, really fucking good as well. So I mean, it's some of my favorite post Endgame MCU stuff. So certainly check them out. It'd be cool. What else have I been up to? Not much really. Just like work and editing and that sort of shit,
that stuff.
The stuff that you procrastinate by doing other things with. Exactly that.
I normally find I procrastinate with that stuff until I actually have to do it, because it stops me doing other stuff that I should be doing.
Yeah, that feels right. It feels right. Feels accurate.
Okay. Chris Mark 4.
Oh, hiya. What have I been up to? I have not done a ton of exciting things, but I have been ridiculously busy, sort of darting all over the place recently. I have also been to see Deadpool and Wolverine and thought it was a lot of fun. Thought it was really, really good. A great sort of send off to the Fox universe of characters, not just the X-Men. They dip in elsewhere. I won't spoil anymore, but it's a lot of fun. So if you've enjoyed those films, go and see it. And I really liked what they did over the credits as well, if you get the chance to see it. What else have I been? I went to see another superhero film. They were doing a re-release, so they're doing a re-release at the moment of the Spider-Man films, starting with the Sam Raimi trilogy, so the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film. So I went to see that on Friday night and got reminded of how much fun that is and how memed that film has become because of so many different moments in it that you go, oh yeah, we've been taking the mickey out of that for so long now. Also got reminded of the Macy Gray cameo, which I'd completely forgotten about.
I've forgotten who Macy Gray was then.
There you go.
She's on the parade, isn't she?
Yes.
She sings along with the parade. I had also forgotten it. You mentioned it on your radio show on Sunday when you do Black Diamond FM.
That was the other thing I did at the weekend. I did your on radio thing. I've also been into town a couple of times for part of the Edinburgh Fringe. The Edinburgh Festivals have started. So Edinburgh is very busy now with all the different stuff that has been going on there. So I was at sort of assembly venues, which is up on the Mound. Big castle-looking building that isn't the castle at the top of the mound. It's normally the Church of Scotland Assembly, but it gets converted into a sort of performance space during the festival. So I was there for a sort of launch event there where they sort of do a big gala where they show off all different sort of bits and pieces that are coming to the festival. That was hosted by Rod Gilbert, which was a lot of fun. And then I was at Pleasance Venues on Saturday, very early on Saturday morning, which I think is too early to be at the festival. And also a lot of comedians doing bits and pieces there where they forgot that they were on in the morning and they kept saying, oh, I hope you're having a good evening, blah, blah, blah. It's like because they're just on autopilot and forgetting that it's actually 10:30. So I've been doing a lot of that, which has meant that I've not really had any time to be in game. I've been doing all sorts of bits and pieces for work, plus little bits of prep for ECM, which I'm looking forward to so much.
Excellent work. Right, well, just quickly, I've been doing prep for ECM myself, so I've been repairing miniatures, painting miniatures, getting new printouts. I found a couple of the deck of cards was absolutely mangled from last year, so I had to go out and print another load. And I'm going to have to spend, I think, a couple of evenings just cutting out the cards, which is going to be really exciting. So yeah, that's fun. Playing a bit of Elite this week. More later. So yeah. We'll cover that in the development news, and and flip back over to my main account just to discover the joys of mega ships, and discovering that sometimes mega ships don't like being probed. They really don't like being probed. So, moving on from there, we'll go straight to the development news. What have the devs said this week? Well, quite a lot, because it was the Frontier Unlocked stream last Wednesday, where they announced a couple of things. First of all, massive engineering overhaul, which we were all talking about the previous Tuesday. And yeah, it's quite big. This engineering overhaul.
Surprising, the numbers, aren't they? They are surprising,
yes.
Genuinely.
So, I mean, when we just quickly to summarize, we've got the engineering roles have gone. So when you're upgrading your
Well, the randomness has gone.
Yeah, the randomness is gone.
The randomness
that's gone. It goes up by a set amount, so that's nice. There's increased material availability / payout for grade 5 farming locations, so that's a lot more. There's increased engineering material was across all missions, up to 24, depending on the mission type.
Woohoo!
I know. And then on top of that, this is a bit of a pain for me, because they've a lot of the on-foot engineers, they've gone and changed, wound down a lot of their requirements. Unfortunately, I've already managed to get them all.
Sucker.
Sucker. Yes, should have waited. So, Hero Ferrari.
Hey, Colin.
Yes.
Did you have fun while you were playing the game to get the things?
No.
Oh, well, then it really does fucking suck to be you then, mate. My apologies.
I knew not doing any on-foot engineering for 3 years would pay off eventually. Yes.
If only I'd not done any on-foot engineering for 3 years and just struggled along with the game.
Yeah.
Like me sitting waiting for my caustic sinks to arrive. That's what you
pretty much. So yeah, Hero Ferrari. Yard and Bond.
That was a drop, I think.
Yep. Oh, did you lose
yeah,
me?
You lose me a little bit.
Right. Well, Hero Ferrari, her settlement defense plans are now down to 5 from 15. Double thumbs up. Yard and Bond, smear campaign required. They're down to 5 from 8. Got Wellington Beck, who likes cat media, classic entertainment, and multimedia entertainment. He's put that down to 15. And Kit Fowler, opinion polls required are just 5 instead of 10. Which, yeah, they're very. Oh God, I wish they'd put them in. I really do. They've removed power regulators from all recipes. That's a big thumbs up.
That's a huge one. That's a massive one as well.
Yeah, so
I've not done any on-foot engineering. Is that a pain in the ass to get power regulators?
Oh,
well,
yes.
A power regulator is like.
You can just get them as mission rewards, or even just take missions and abandon them, can't you, to get power regulators? Or am I
You
thinking something else?
you can. The other thing that you can do, you can get a single power regulator from any base. For crash ships, if you open up the ships and pull out the power regulating housing, there's a possibility that there might be there might be a working power regulator in there. It was quite a relatively rare item, and potentially a fair amount of effort would go into getting one.
Okay. I did wonder why they'd take them out of all the recipes. I didn't realise it was such a pain.
Yeah, well, yeah, on top of that, they reduced a lot of recipe costs for upgrading and modifying on-foot suits and weapons. Thank God for that. Less manufacturing instructions needed. And also, they've made the backpacks on your suits bigger.
Yeah, well, we're getting so many materials now. We need somewhere to put them all.
Yeah, obviously they've put the new TARDIS Mark 1 mod in, because the sizes are massive, but they haven't made them any bigger on you.
Also, incidentally, alongside that, if you have a backpack size increase upgrade on your suits, it's still doubled.
Oh,
so my Maverick suit has 120 now.
I'm picturing your Maverick suit like the suit the badge the squires walk around in.
I'm just wearing I'm wearing like a dust jacket, but it's got pockets lining in the inside. Check out my manufacturing instructions, lads.
I'm just imagining the horses from Monty Python. Yeah, so that's the alterations made to the engineering rule set. There's now extra stuff contributing for the Thargoid War. So you now reward with engineering materials upon system completions, with grade 4 and 5 encoded manufacturing materials becoming eligible as rewards, which is yay. So it's like they're encouraging more people to get involved with the Thargoid War because materials.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, contributions will be logged from the release of 18.08. I'm assuming 18.08 is tomorrow.
18.06?
Are we? Oh.
No. Right, okay. So it is, according to the forum post, 18.08 is tomorrow. It's the type. They're not giving us names anymore for updates. It's called the Type 8 update. Remember, they don't have numbers anymore. So this is the Type 8 update, 18.08.
6.
Does it say 06?
Yeah.
On the thing?
Yeah.
Why does it say 18.08 on the forum post, though?
It doesn't.
It
does.
I'm looking at it now.
No,
it says contributions.
Update 18.06, Thargoid War Overhaul.
That was
hang on, I'm looking
Tuesday,
at
the 28th of May.
See, I'm following the show notes. Excuse me, hang on.
Oh,
Right,
don't look at the show notes, Alec. Come on.
No, I see what you mean.
So that.
Yeah, okay. I clicked the wrong link in the show notes.
It's all right. Happens to the best of us. Anyway.
Type 8, 08.
Type 808. Or it's an 808 state, even.
Oh,
now,
good Lord.
I know. Oh, God, sorry. I don't know where that came from. So that's overall engineering. They've upped, both me and Psychic, as part of the partners programs, we had an early access to this. Trying to do some engineering.
We had another drop, Colin, just FYI. It's Discord. It's being great yet again.
Yeah. Well, as I was saying, we got both myself and Psychic, we got early access to the Type 8 build. And so I was mucking about with engineering, seeing how much materials that you get. And it's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, you take out one ship and basically you're flooded with just materials everywhere. So yeah, that's.
Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry. So is it even in the sort of instances in the combat zones and stuff, they are just flooding with materials now?
So I don't know about the combat zones, but dropping into it's really funny. I laughed for like a good 20 minutes. I dropped into a high grade what's it called?
Emissions.
High grade emissions. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I dropped into one of those, and it's literally a sea of white on your radar because there is so many there. It was Imperial shielding, and there were 28 Imperial shielding. Doing the math, that would pretty much fill you up.
Yeah, the example I heard, which put it in perspective, I think it was Burr or someone, but the example which put it in perspective for me is like pharmaceutical isolators. And if you were lucky, you used to get 5 or 6, and now you can get 30 odd fragments of pharmaceutical isolator flame, each of which gets you 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah, but I think. To be honest, I'm not too bothered about the on-ship engineering. It's the on-foot engineering I'm quite happy about because, yeah, it was... Oh, that grind was too long. It was.
I'm delighted about both, to be honest. I've got a lot of suits that need done and weapons and things that need... I've kind of got them all to kind of a reasonable sort of grade 3, grade 4 kind of thing. But I need to get all mine sort of done up. And especially with the introduction of the new Python as well, a lot of engineering to do, which means a lot of mats. So if there's a lot more materials around, then I'm all for it.
We dropped again. Oh my gosh. Discord is being an absolute pain today. What the heck? Apologies, gang. That's wild.
Oh, yes. So engineering, everybody's sort of... the response to this has been actually very positive, I feel. Yes, it doesn't... some of the more advanced things we were hoping for, like, reclaiming mats when you sell things, they're not in there. But to tell you the truth, when your number of mats drop this often,
yeah,
you're not going to worry about it, are you?
So I think think we should revisit this once more people have had opportunity to actually experience it.
Mhm.
I am of a slightly different opinion to you, ever so slightly, not massively, just an ever so slightly differing opinion in that I think it might be a bit of an extreme overcorrection as opposed to the step in the right direction I wanted it to be. And I know those two things rhyme, and I hate it.
I was of that opinion too, actually. When it was first announced, I was a bit grumpy because it seemed a bit like they weren't doing all the kind of, the map broker changes or letting us take engineering back off weapons and suits. All those kind of functional changes didn't seem to be happening. They were just throwing materials at us. But I have subsequently realized, at least with like those massive drops at HGEs, I think what they've done is basically made relogging pointless. They've looked at what people are doing, and people are getting their 6, logging out, exiting the game completely, turning around 3 times with additions, logging back in, rattling the bones, jumping back to the instance, doing a U-turn, going back in, getting another 6, and they're just doing that over and over and over again. And that is terrible gameplay.
100% agree.
And Frontier have, I think, just looked at that and go, well, let's just give them 50, and then they won't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah, because if you're determined to get those mats, you're just carrying on logging out and logging back in until you got them.
If people are going to relog 10 times, getting 5 each time, then just give them 50 and then they don't need to bother. It's like Frontier just going, oh, what the hell? Just have a shed load of mats. I can't be, yeah. I think it's, well, like you say, we'll have to wait and see.
Mark 4.
I absolutely agree with you, Alec. It saves relogging, doesn't it? I mean, we've talked a couple of weeks ago about it as well. Anything that takes you out of the game or makes you close the game is not good, especially if you're like me and you get distracted. So if it's the kind of thing we're having to log totally out, log back in, click on this, go on that, that's not fun. If they can keep you engaged and they're rewarding you for the actual gameplay, then brilliant, because then it's not a grind, it's gameplay. You're not trying to cheat the system to try and get there a little bit quicker because you don't want to spend, the rest of your days trying to hunt down for these particular signal sources or this particular mission type that only appears once in a blue moon. It's like now when that once in a blue moon mission does turn up, you'll get enough rewards for it that you don't mind looking around for another one in a natural way rather than trying to trick the system into giving you it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Chris Mark 5.
It makes me wonder what potentially we might be seeing coming up if they're handing out engineering mats like it's going out of fashion.
Yeah.
I think it's probably because of the new ships, right? Because
Yeah,
these will be
probably.
the first new ships that people have had in ages. So a lot of people will have engineered their chieftain or engineered their favourite corvette or corvettes to the nth degree. They'll have all the engineering done on them, and this will be the first time people are diving back into engineering properly, probably, for a while. Okay, maybe a bit of the Fargoid War stuff, I would think, but this is probably going to be the biggest en masse trial of the new engineering mechanic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you do it, now's the time to do it. You don't want to do it in 6 months' time once everyone has already engineered all their new ships.
So
I've seen an awful lot of they could have done it 6 years ago kind of remarks. I think that's the single biggest complaint.
I mean, that's always the way, though, isn't it? Like
is.
So my slight. I totally agree with everything you're saying about the dropping into an HG and picking up a shit ton. I think it's hilarious, and I also think it's wonderful. I kind of miss the rolls, because I engineered. I went in. I engineered a Type 8. Now, don't get me wrong. You kind of have to experience this to understand it a little bit more. And I think this is something that we can definitely deep dive into in the future, to coin a phrase. But I miss the rolls. I feel like one or the other might be good, because you can fill up so easily. Now the fact that they only need 5 to do a grade 5 item, I miss the rolls. And to be honest, if we know that it's going to take me 5 rolls to roll for a type a 5 stage 5 engineering, just let me click it once. Then give me the opportunity to click it once rather than having to click it 5 times.
Can I clarify something, because you've actually done this?
Yeah.
So let's suppose my reputation is at grade 5 already. So my very first roll, do I go through 20% of grade 1 and unlock grade 2?
No, so you get it is 1 roll and that completes grade 1.
Completes grade 1.
Completes grade 1. And then 2 rolls is 2. Early unlocks anymore per se. There's a couple that it doesn't completely on the test
that's
server,
a
at
shame.
least it didn't
I
completely fill
thought
up
it was
on.
more like you could, it was 5 to go through a grade, but
No.
also 1 would unlock the next grade, so you could. No, that's a bit too easy. That's not really a popular opinion, is it? But I'm with you a little bit.
It's kind of like now that materials are in such like abundance, especially those particular ones. And another bugbear I have is that it's not like across the board with everything. Still getting data. I haven't seen data being much easier, with the exception of the fact that there's now 9 things that you can scan at Jameson's rather than the.
Oh yeah, I saw that for data drops, right?
Yeah.
What about crystal shards? Do they spaff out more stuff?
8. Sorry, there's 8 things that you can drop at thingies. I don't know. I haven't been up there. We can find out tomorrow. Everyone can find out tomorrow.
The people I
So
feel...
let's quickly move on to.
Sorry, I was.
Was that you, Chris?
Yeah, I was just going to say the people I feel sorry to are the developers of Odyssey Materials Helper and Inara and all these other applications that are now going to have to update the recipes, the unlocks, and everything else that lurks in the background. My thoughts to all those developers that we appreciate so much, and we give a shout out, and we're thinking of you at this time.
And if you really appreciate them, most of them have a donate button. Just saying.
True. Can we roll back ever so slightly and just talk about Frontier Unlocked as well? Because we touched on it. Wasn't it nice to see a load of Planet Coaster people in chat?
Yeah.
Wasn't it real nice?
Yeah.
Because normally it's a kick of get on with the really dangerous stuff, but no, it was nice to see.
When it switched to when we switched to when it all like switched to Elite, there were people like Planet Coaster fans turning up in chat going, "Oh, we don't want to see this. All of these people are here to see Planet Coaster," and I was like, "Yes, this is how it feels." It made me so happy.
Yeah, I mean, numbers did drop quite significantly when the Planet Coaster section finished.
That was
I did notice that.
Just to clarify, there's a reason that happens. Frontier pay for an hour on the front page. Frontier pay for an hour on the front page with the Frontier Unlocked, and Frontier Unlocked tends to be about an hour and a half. So it just so happened that the Planet Coaster stuff took about 48, 50 minutes, something like that. So that it did just steadily drop because it was no longer on the front page as well. And that will have had a fair amount of reason for the drop off too. Just to placate maybe some Elite Dangerous folks.
Fair enough. Right, Alec, just quickly, there's something else.
Oh yeah, on the rewarding people doing Thargoid activities with materials, I just wanted to drag briefly my being annoyed on behalf of others soapbox, because I don't know if anyone's actually annoyed about this. When I saw that, I thought that's really going to annoy the people that aren't doing Thargoid activities, people that have complained for years they don't like the Thargoid War and they're off exploring. I feel like, aren't they a bit miffed? Like, why Why are all these people getting material rewards for doing the thing I don't like? Anyway, I just thought I haven't seen any complaints. So
It's just to encourage people to say, oh, by the way, if you get involved in this bit, there's more rewards than normal.
yeah.
It's signposting. It's kind of, bribery, if you
It's
like.
Frontier saying, "Hey, we'd really like to get this over and done with now."
Yeah,
And
maybe that's
we totally underestimated how long it would take to finish, and now we want to like focus on power play. And can you just like get it done now, please, lads?
Yeah, I like
We'll
it.
give you engineering materials.
Please, for the love of God, destroy these last targoids.
Yeah,
'cause we're
just
sick
get
of
it done, all right?
But then saying that, if they go to maybe crystal shards or whatever things and collect raw materials and stuff that way, they'll get lots of materials either way.
Yeah, don't matter, does it?
Everyone gets materials. It's like Space Oprah Winfrey went, you get materials, but no settlement plans.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave the engineering for the moment, and obviously we'll touch on the ship this update is named after, the Type 8. Psychit, you had a good fly of it, as have I. What's your impression?
It flies really nicely. It's a really, really nice little flyer. I like it an awful lot to fly. And I enjoyed I made a little miner. I saw it drop. I made a little miner, a little Type 8 miner, and it's got because I now realize that the subsurface missile thing and the abrasion blaster is you can get them in size 1s.
Yes.
I thought they were all size 2s.
No.
So I was a little bit salty about it. And then I made this miner and it's a darling.
Oh,
it is
yes.
an absolute darling to fly. It's it's got enough to do strip mining in it. You work a Type 7 multi-Limpic controller in there, and it's just lovely. It's a lovely little ship to fly around, super maneuverable, and it looks neat as well. And the ship kit that they already have on it with all of the moving parts is really cool. I don't want to say anything about using an SRV because I think Wotherspoon covered it better than any of us could.
The little SRV that couldn't.
And can I say, I did call that several weeks ago when we first saw the
did.
grey builds. It's like, you're not going to be able to get an SRV out of that thing.
You can get a Scorpion. A Scorpion's absolutely fine.
Interesting. It's a little bit lower, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah, but the Scarab is another matter whatsoever. I thoroughly enjoyed flying it as well. I ended up in combat with it. It's certainly not a fighter. I can say that. My controversial opinion, it is a good trader, but my controversial opinion is it's a better miner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the main issue that the only issue I have with it is the fact that you haven't got a fighter base. So if you are mining and a pirate comes along, well, you're basically stuffed. Although you do have a good chance of running away in this thing. So it is definitely going to be, I think, going forward, the trading ship of choice for Power Play 2.0. If you're doing trading in Power Play, this is the ship you're going to use. So, But overall, very impressed. And I do, despite what people think of the Tonka toyness of it, I like it.
I really like it.
It looks great. All the footage I've seen. What I didn't realise, I saw there's so many videos out this week doing Type 8 reviews, especially with all the new partners. And there was one, I didn't realise the engines are actually gimbaled a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. We do love a bit of chunky. There you go. But that's not all that we're getting in tomorrow's update. We've also getting some new pre-built ships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we've got the Type 8 transponder Stella, which is the for 3300 arcs, which it's obviously Type 8. It's the red skin with the ship kit, and it looks really, really nice. You've got your Type 8 transport standard for 16,520 arcs, which is, it basically does look like a yellow digger. So, but then we have the passenger jumpstart. Have you ever wanted a beluga liner? Yes, well, you can have one for 25,500 arcs. And it's a beluga. It comes with some nice stuff. And I'm not really a passenger person, though. So.
Mark 5 is. Chris, Mark 5 is.
Yep.
Chris, you've done a lot, haven't you?
Yep. And it's actually a pretty good loadout to get started with, to be honest. Yeah. And so.
Okay.
Yeah, if somebody wants to give it a try, then try it. It's not going to cost you much on rebuy.
It's
Woo.
cost you nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to do bounty hunting, they have the bounty hunting jumpstart called Vulture, which is.
Don't buy this.
Yeah,
don't buy it.
And do that.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it. No one in the. If you like, buy it if you like the look of the ship kit.
Hmm.
Don't
you buy the ship kit without it? But,
I've got no idea, but you get the ship kit and the skin, and I think essentially it's a little bit cheaper. Don't buy it. It's oh my god. Whoever like bless them. Whoever made that, don't buy it.
Fair enough. Psych it. Thumbs down. Obviously,
I don't do a lot of bounty hunting, but like I do a fair amount of combat, but I do it in a Corvette. But I mean, I would never fight in something like that. It's I think it's got one multi-cannon, one pulse laser. It's not good. It's not good. You could I think you make it sound like it's a jump start. You're better off just fitting fucking rail guns to Sidewinder. You'll get the same effect. You'll die a lot. You'll die a lot. Yeah, sure. You'll get a bit more rebuy. I've got fully engineered Sidewinder with railguns, and it's the most fun that I've had in high res because I followed the cops around because I'm not stupid.
Yeah, just get that one shot in and get.
Yeah, that's all you need. All you need with your railguns on your sidey. It's great.
Yeah, the engineering of the Vulture was weird. Like it had long range pulse lasers.
Yeah.
And what was the multi-cannon again? It was something. Oh, extended ammo, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's just weird choices that I wouldn't necessarily recommend to a beginner.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously, if they are a beginner, they'd be taking it into low combat zones. I don't expect to take anything unless you're engineered into medium or high. So.
Well, it's just as well.
Please come back. Please come back.
And we're back.
I've got no idea. It's so dropping so badly tonight. Yeah, so obviously the Python Mark II comes available for everybody else. So in my opinion, it's probably going to be a Python Mark II free-for-all around Shin after Ezra again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I'll be doing.
There's a fix for luxury cabins, not counting as suitable for lower classes of passengers, i.e. you don't want to give Mr. Guy in steerage. Poor Leo in steerage shouldn't be allowed in the luxury cabin. The SCO now has a fuel consumption stat when you can view the modules, so you can now work out how much fuel your Sidewinder is using up in SCO without calling on the fuel rats. And they've also removed the SCO mass lock from small planets to be consistent with medium and large planets. So yeah, that's I haven't.
That was the winner for me.
That.
That was the winner for me because I find that deeply annoying. Most planets, you take off from the planet. If the place you're jumping to is obscured, you just hit Supercruise overcharge, boost a little bit, and you're away.
Yes.
But then, just occasionally, some planets you just keep getting this mass lock message when you're trying to engage. I always assumed it was deliberate and maybe something to do with gravity or it
Yeah,
had a
I did.
wide. But when I saw this in the patch notes, it was like, yes, thank God.
Yeah, it's weird because the mass lock from. Oh, hang on. It's always the small planets which I've been able to boost away quite quickly, but the large and medium ones haven't. So that sounds to me like they've blocked it.
Oh God, I hope it's not the opposite of what I think.
It's gone the other way.
They've made them all bad.
They made them all bad.
Added mass lock to all the big planets.
Yeah. Chris Mark 5.
The standout fix for me was the passenger cabin one, because it is so annoying when you've got first and luxury cabins left and there is someone who's an economy cabin who would fit it perfectly and it wouldn't let you take them. It was so annoying. I'm giving you the free upgrade to the fancy pants place.
And they wouldn't take it. That's really funny. I didn't know that was a thing.
It would just say minimum cabin class or something like that. Not met, and I'm like, but this is a luxury or first, your business. It's better than what you'd have.
Yeah, have you ever seen anybody say, I can give you a free upgrade to business class?
Thanks, I'd like to stay in economy, please.
Yeah, exactly.
I've bought an economy seat and I insist on having one.
Is that what it was doing? Is that what it was doing?
Yeah. So,
that's nonsense. I didn't realise that. I haven't done it for so long. So
yeah, it's really frustrating because I always used to end up with like 8 empty spots in my ship that I couldn't fill because an economy 8 wouldn't go in there.
Wow. Actually, wow.
Yeah. Right. What with everything that's happening today, I'm going to ask the Chris Mark 4 if we can take a quick break, and then we'll come back with the community news.
Before I also went off and died. Tasty, tasty cannibalism.
I'll be the least likely to die. He died first.
Yeah, I've never before discovered plants.
We here at the Lavian Centre of Dubious Science have had enough of those idiotic numbskulls polluting your airwaves with nonsensical utterations, mindless articulations, and downright vacuousness. Our premier linguistic experts, psychologists and scientists have collaborated for years to find the perfect antidote for such silliness, and are proud to present Professor Pebcap's Miracle Elixir. Our closely guarded recipe is designed to target the sensibility triggers nestled within the frontal lobe of the cerebrum and gently caress the cerebellum, meaning that clumsiness, terrible decision-making, lewd comments, and rare but fun rants are a thing of the past. Place 1 drop under the tongue when you wake up and 1 just before sleep, and settle into an elevated state of practicality that's more suited to the responsible commander. Professor Pebcap's Miracle Elixir. We've not tested it yet, but we're sure it'll do the job just fine.
Oi, how you doing, my brother? So you run some data and you left your little sidey and you're starting to think about maybe a ship that can punch a little bit harder. Well, the Killback, the one with the little flappy wings, is just what the doctor ordered. It is multi-crew enabled and is the smallest ship with a fighter bay, so you can point and they will do your bidding. Ha! It's got 3 utility mounts, 2 small and 2 medium hard points, plus a whole batch of compartments. So if you want a bit of fun, grab a Killback, my son.
New from Azimuth Biotech, it's Tickle Me Thargoid. Tickle Me Thargoid is fun for all the family. Teach your little anti-Xeno commander the difference between an Orthrus and a Cyclops, a Basilisk and a Medusa.
Count the hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a Cyclops.
All Tickle Me Thargoids spray realistic caustic clouds.
Not near the curtains. I love you, Tickle Me Thargoid.
Tickle Me Thargoid, available now from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers.
Space is vast, and pirates have needs just like anyone else. Introducing the Lonely Pirate Handbook, the ultimate resource for lonely pirates. Our guide covers the hot spots and not spots of interstellar space, from smugglers' dens to space station taverns, with helpful chapters such as how to be presentable in polite society, how to get rid of that nefarious rank, and my favorite, occasionally shower. Are your early advances often mistaken for attempts to rob or plunder?
Oh, I've come a long way for what's in your hold. Prepare to be boarded.
Frameshift charge detected.
Oh.
Buy today and receive the Lonely Pirates Chat-Up Guide for free.
I've got a very large hard point. Would you like to see my very large hard point?
You're so hot. You're making my temperature critical.
Lower your shields. I want to inspect the goods.
Come back to my place. I might let you touch my A-rated anaconda.
Are you smuggling illegal goods? Because you've got fine written all over you.
The Lonely Pirates Handbook. Now available in all Anarchy bookstores. We'll teach you to loot anyone's heart.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Game is not dead. Here is the proof. It's this week's Community Corner. First thing I wanted to shout out is actually what we're going to put in the show notes is a link to episode 1, which is about 6 months old. But a few weeks ago, I was raving about a new YouTube series which is inspired by the Isinona videos of old that so many of us loved and enjoyed, called Yami Sora, I believe, of which I've watched all 6 episodes now, waiting for the next. Anyway, this is one of these weird YouTube things. This popped up on my radar, 6 months old, loads of hits, exactly the sort of stuff I want to see, and I'd just never seen it before. It's a similar idea, an Isinona-inspired YouTube series called Maverick Zero. And I think there's 8 episodes. It popped up because episode 8 released last week. I've watched 3. They're like 20, 25 minutes, exactly the same style, action sort of role play starting off in a small ship and just setting out on adventures in Elite. It's great, really enjoying these. So I've got 2 to enjoy now, Maverick Zero and Yami Sora, both great video series. Next up, we have a nice video from Mile 13 Gaming entitled Everything You Need to Know About Core Mining in Elite Dangerous. It does what it says on the tin. It's like a good 11-12 minute video, but it really covers core mining in every detail, how to do it, all the modules you need, the build, the technique. Great, nice detailed video. Next one, we mentioned this. I just was going to give it a shout out. It's the Galnet News Digest on the Type 8's fatal flaw. It's really funny. It's about not being able to get your SRV out from underneath a Type 8. I also wanted to shout it out. I'm sure everyone knows this, but people hear a Galnet News on the end of Lave Radio every week. There are more. There's another one that comes out midweek often. So subscribe to Galnet News Digest on YouTube or podcast feeds or wherever, and you will get more Galnet News Digest than just the one after the show. And they're always brilliant. What have I next? Oh, we've sort of touched on this as well, but following on from the Frontier Unlocked, the Burpit released another of their excellent summaries of what Frontier said, basically. So if you want a really good summary of the high grade emissions stuff, then they've got a great guide on that. I think this was made today. I'm not saying X. This Mark Xanthius has made another galactic first exobiology discovery. I think there was another one a little while back. Tubus soribus yellow. I just love the fact that so many years after exobiology came out, people are still discovering brand new variations around the galaxy. It's really cool. There's more plants than I thought, and some of them are rarer than I thought. And it's really nice to just see new discoveries pop up occasionally. And in fact, Mark Xanthius has actually written a guide. It's really good. I haven't had a time to digest it properly yet, but it's a kind of get your name in the codex research guide that he's written for Canon. So we'll link that in the show notes, but it's really detailed, and it's kind of, ways to improve your chances of finding a brand new exobiology discovery in the galaxy. Next, we've just had a buckyball race finish, which I'll come on to in a second. And as usual, we've got a fantastic blog from Homburger again. I love this one. The race itself, some of the races are just, here's the rules, go and race, have at it, have fun. But I really like it when people do a bit of background lore, and there's some lovely lore on this race from the race organizer, Clarissa, and Homburg has sort of woven that into his blog. So I think it's like a Chinese fable or something of a cow herd and a weaver girl that's sort of damned by the gods and managed to meet once a year and cross the heavens on a bridge so they can meet up. It's lovely stuff, and Homburg has sort of woven it into his blog, so it's a really nice one. Yeah, and finally the buckyball race is just finished. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on it because I think it was kind of off-putting at the start, particularly all of its bonuses and things. But actually, it was really fun, and I think with hindsight, the bonuses weren't bad at all. Actually, there was things like carry an optional bonus to carry 8 tons out to the Pleiades, 8 tons of any cargo you liked. That's a really nice trade-off because if you stick 8 tons, you get less jump range, so it might take you more jumps. On the other hand, you get a bonus for struggling all the way out there with your 8 tons and selling it. So perfect bonus, that kind of thing where there's a nice trade-off, and it affects different ships in different ways. There was a bonus for, so you only had to visit 4 of the 7 sisters, but then you get a bonus of visiting 5 or 6 or 7. Again, trade-off, beautiful trade-offs of kind of time against bonus, and also some of these, particularly in regulation class, were quite a long way out, light seconds distance. So there's diminishing returns on some of those, on whether you're going to make up for the bonus difference or not. So yeah, really nice race, actually really fun. So I shall do these in reverse order. So starting with the open unlimited class, where we had Supercruise Overcharge and any ship you like. We had in third place Tobias von Brandt, who was racing a Diamondback Explorer and did 7 of the 9 bonuses. In second place, yours truly, another Diamondback Explorer, 8 of the 9 bonuses. And in first place, Shay Blackwood, as usual, like minutes ahead of the rest of us. Don't know how he does it. Just incredible Supercruise skills, I think, mostly. Yeah, really good racing there. In regulation class, I will now mention the aforementioned cursed neutron star that I said I would touch on later. So in regulation class, it's 13 jumps out to the Pleiades, and then you race around all these bonuses and stations, and then it's 13 jumps back again. Actually, you could do it in 12 with a bit of cunning manual route plotting. So I just kind of swallowed that. Okay, that's the deal. 13 jumps, do the stuff, 13 jumps back. I was really pleased with the way I flew this race, and I was kind of, I think, an early first place early on in the leaderboards. And then when the race had finished, everyone starts talking about a flipping neutron star that you could kind of zoom off to one side and then boost from, and then basically save. Oh God, it was like 3 jumps each way or something. So yeah, so I ended up in 4th, which I guess is still quite good, but I was really annoyed because I flew this like the best I've ever flown a buckyball race, and I just didn't spot that there was a sodding neutron star that I could take a shortcut through. Hey ho, my bad. Anyway, so in 3rd place, Tobias von Brandt again. In 2nd place, it's Kevin the Stabber. And in 1st place, Osric. Great to see Osric back at the top there because I know he loves his regulation runs. So yeah, deserved wins to everyone and a good turnout in the end. A really fun race. Next race is going to be mine, which is going to be at the end of the month. And I'm not saying anything about it at the moment because I might be changing my mind about what I'm going to do.
Mine's the one after yours, and I actually planned 90% of it, but I'm gonna talk to you about it on Friday night.
Good, because I am currently desperately running around planning a race. Because I'll tell you what, we'll have an exclusive on Lave Radio. Here's the deal. My race was originally going to be strongly themed around Super Cruise Overcharge,
Right.
to the point that I called it Bachman Turner Overcharge.
Nice.
And then, in order to work with that pun, went seeking out stations that were a long way from the star that had Bachman in their name. So I was really stretching for the theme of this
I did
race.
something really similar.
Okay. Anyway, what has happened is that in practice we have used Super Cruise Overcharge so much already with things like the ring shot one. What was the ring shot one called? The one we had to shoot through the. Basically, Super Cruise Overcharge has become a normal part of flying.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any point having a race themed around it. We've already done it. I mean, short of going a very long way, which isn't actually that much fun, I think I'm going to scrap Bachman Turner Overcharge, and I'm quickly hustling up a whole new race concept, which will be much more fun.
Amazing.
More later.
Excellent. More later.
Oh yeah, one was done entirely over about the Super Cruise. SEO, wasn't it? Oh, that's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine now. The thing I don't need to talk to you anymore, Alec.
Oh, okay. You can still talk to me.
Well, obviously, when we have our water interludes.
Yeah.
Like
when we're
nerds.
at the water cooler having a nerd. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, if you have a community event taking place soon and you'd like us to shout about it across the airways, tweet the crew at Lave Radio or email us at info@laveradio.com. So let's see what's been actually happening in the galaxy this week, and we've had a lot of Galnet news over the last couple of days. Actually, the 1st of August, 3310, Aegis confirms reports of Thargoid Spire reactivation. Yes, renowned xenobiologist Professor Shaunus Madigan.
Famous Madigan.
That's the one. Part of the federal delegation to Aegis has offered the following update. This morning, our operatives verified the multiple claims of energy readings on 2 inactive Spire sites. It appears that the Thargoids have restarted industrial efforts at these locations. It's also possible that the aliens have developed a method of cleansing the Spires of our sabotage compounds. The Spire's internal functions may have been repurposed for other means. What we know, however, is that further contamination of these sites will be needed to shut them down for good. In addition, the AX fleets on the front line near Titan Thor have confirmed the withdrawal of the Thargoid fleets from several unpopulated systems in the area. Yes. Right, so, they're managing to switch the Spire sites back on. As far as the gameplay is concerned, that's good. Don't want to run out those.
It's almost as if it makes it easier. It's almost as if Frontier want to rush people to finish it.
Yeah, I was going to say, because this is an interesting one, because a naive reading of this, you would think this is another trick up the Thargoid sleeve in terms of fighting back and making it harder. Like, oh, damn, the Spire sites that we've put so much effort into crippling have...
that's the way I read it.
But Yeah, I get that in practice, because sort of reading
Yeah.
sort of mech and stuff, I get that actually spire sites are incredibly useful.
Yeah, so it's very clever writing in that you're absolutely right. At first glance, anyone who's got a passing interest who isn't involved in AXI, like when I read it first, I was like, I enjoy the I enjoy anti-Xeno combat as much as the next person who doesn't really understand what's going on. But reading it, I was like, oh, okay. They've made it harder again, and then was reminded on the efficacy of actually attacking the spire sites.
Do you think? Here's a question. Do you think Frontier understand their own game enough to realize they've made it easier and not harder?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I think you'd have to be crazy to not realize what they've done at that point. And I think I firmly believe that the Thargoid mechanics were worked on so substantially that I'm very much in the camp of yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, can we write it so it looks like it's not?
Yeah. Yeah.
In other news, on the 2nd of August, there's been an assassination attempt on Emperor Arissa. She survived an assault on her convoy in the Kubo system, where the Imperial Guard's pilots fought off the perpetrators, that's all they called the perpetrators, in a brief but intense firefight. The Emperor was returning from a state visit to Kubo 3, where communities across the planet were hosting a biennial harvest festival in her honor, and en route to the orbiting INV Achena's Valor, a squadron of unidentified ships dropped out of supercruise and attacked her shuttle amidst a dozen Imperial vessels protecting it. A genuine assassination attempt.
Arissa doesn't have a good time of it, does she? Let's be honest.
No, she doesn't. She was missing for a year.
She's been through the mill a bit, hasn't she?
But we know it's not Princess Aisling, because although she regularly uses Kubo as a headquarters for state programs, she, at the time of the attack, she was in Jumata as part of her collaboration with the Aegis Initiative. So interesting.
Great to see Galnet News back.
Great to see Galnet News back. Also, previous one, ding 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 ding. So a Janae mention. Woohoo!
Oh yes.
We haven't heard from her for months, and she's still alive apparently.
And another person we haven't heard from for months, on August the 6th, today, ahead of Aegis, Alba Tesro has revealed a new opportunity for pilots engaged in anti-Xeno operations. This is obviously the story to cover the fact that you're going to get more materials. They're going to say, we've got to find a way to contribute to the pilots who are putting their lives on the line to defend us against the Thargoids, the private pilots, meaning us. So, yes, this initiative that they're doing will begin on Wednesday, the 7th of August.
Boo. Down with this kind of thing. What about us explorers? Boo.
You know what I would have really liked to have seen is like some nod to how overstocked they were from that last CG.
Oh yeah.
As well, and going because that was so overstocked, we've been able to reverse engineer it into extra engineering materials, so the Pilots Federation contribution doesn't have to be that high anymore. That's what I would have really liked to see, because it would have justified quite how many. What was it? What were the things that you heroes did? What was it you delivered? Some kind of mechanical equipment.
1 ton of stuff.
I delivered an entire Type 9's worth of aluminium foil, I think you'll find.
Okay, fantastic. So, brilliant. Tinfoil, Aegis and tinfoil, that goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Jesus. Oh dear, I think it's like it's beginning to crack. It's beginning to crack. Oh no.
I've been on Lave Radio for like 2.5 years now. I think I did all right.
Cry 8.5.
No.
Right, well, the Thargoid War activity so far. Well, this week we had 4 alerts. All were cleared. 6 invasions. All cleared. There are 417 controlled systems, of which 24 were cleared. There are 13 systems in recovery, and Thor has 41 control systems left, and at current estimates will become vulnerable from the 15th of August onwards.
Interruption.
Go on.
I have heard chatter that it's looking like there may be a possibility of it becoming vulnerable on Thursday.
So if you...
with that in mind, if you were going to ECM...
Get your runs in.
Get your runs in. That just... I hate for any of the 160 people who are going to ECM who might still play the game would miss out on a decal because we said, oh, don't worry about it. It's up until the 15th. Just have a look on Thursday.
Excellent. Well, it also means that for the first time in absolutely ages, I get to say it's that time of the week again.
Store alert!
And welcome back. We have actually quite a few things to look at. When the Type 8 update drops, tongue twister there, we have 8 new color variants for the Type 8.
No, we've got 3. 3 apparently. 3 new Type 8 color variants.
Yes, I need to change it to my reading
Yeah,
glasses.
it's literally written there, Colin.
Yeah. Okay, so there are 3. There's red, there's white, there's green with stripes. Now, I must admit, I do like the red one. I feel ill looking at the green one, and the white one looks nice in a nice field.
I think I really like the blue one. It's blue. I really like the white and blue one. I think it's really cute. I don't like the choices that they've made to put the green one on green.
No,
it's a lot of green.
The background is too much, isn't it?
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at that and thinking Grinch.
I really like it. I really like all of them. I think they're really nice.
Yeah, I'm starting to think the Type 8 might look good in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the 3 of them, I think the blue and white is my favorite.
Same.
Yeah. So yeah, 3 skins are coming for your Type 8, not 8, just 3. We have a look at the pre-built combat-ready Vulture. Yes.
Don't get it. Don't get it. It's not worth it unless you really want it and you're a completionist. Don't get it.
The pre-built exploration beluga looks quite nice. Reminds me of sort of Starliners.
They tend to be quite
luxury edge, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They tend to be quite discreet, don't they? The beluga, orca, and dolphin paint jobs on the whole.
No, you've not seen Rescue Whale. That's
Okay.
bright orange, flamey beluga.
Oh,
It
right,
stands
okay.
out.
Fair enough.
There's the dolphin. Is it more for the clownfish paints that they've got? There's the clownfish paints. And I think there's a taxi as well for the dolphin as well.
I feel like I see a lot of these mostly white with a little flash of like some sort of classy airline sort of, which is entirely appropriate, of course.
Yeah, they definitely evoke cruise liner on a lot of the skins, but
yeah.
And for your soon-to-be purchasable for credits only Python Mark II, there are 2 one looks sandy, one looks white.
I don't know if there's more, but those are the only two that we had in the folder, so I'm just going to assume.
Those look like the old tactical paint jobs.
Yeah.
So like tactical
it's
khaki,
the
tactical ice.
Ah, right, yes. I always like the tactical ice ones. And yeah, that does look quite nice in this one. But typical me, I just ended up spending his arcs on a Python Mark II skin, and I should have waited. And finally, there is a new ship kit coming from the Python Mark II. Claire, you've got something to say here?
What does it remind you of? Look at the front of that ship and you tell me what that reminds you of. Right now.
Taser?
No, it looks like the front of the Normandy. And it does. It's the Normandy's got the little two nose things either side of the nose thing. It looks like the Normandy, and it's giving me life, and I love it so much. And I'm going to spend so much money on it. And I never said I was going to buy arcs again because they inflated everything, the rat bastards, and then they give me a fucking Normandy.
For me, the first picture where it's in the ice white, the wings remind me of a Klingon bird of prey.
A little bit.
Yeah, you know, when not the original series where they had like, you know, the little bits drawn on it, but you know, in the later ones where it kind of went, they had some which obviously had the two disruptor cannons, I think they were, coming
Yes.
outside, but there's other ones where it was just like that initial thing, or maybe it's the other bird of prey. It's not the Klingons, the other ones. No, but they were bigger, weren't they? And more rounded.
Yeah,
It gives me that vibe, the bird of prey. I don't know why. It just reminds me of that.
I must admit, I can't see that, to be honest. I know my Star Trek ships,
well, it's because it's got the droop, like the bird of prey's kind of got like the droopy wings at the side, doesn't it? So you've kind of got to the thing, and the wings sort of slide down the way a little bit. So it does look kind of similar to that. Actually,
I see what you mean. Yeah, there's a ship here. I think you make the eagle look a bit bird of prey like as well with the kind of droopy wings. Yeah, I know what you mean.
You can make it look even more like a bird of prey by making it invisible and just like. There you go. Now it looks identical to a bird of prey. A visual joke for the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean there. You got the two spikes at the front. Yes.
The little news spikes. It's the little news spikes. It look. I mean.
That's it. Yeah, that's what you mean.
It looks enough like. To me, it's invoking the Normandy enough that it's making me want to get it.
Oh dear, you're such a Mass Effect girl.
My guy. I've just between stream and Lave, I did Neveria on insanity mode.
I'm not sure about those two long tail fins. I mean, it's cool that they've tried something new.
Them for something else.
Yeah, don't like those.
Yeah. Well, so there you have it. We have lots of stuff coming tomorrow, and for your lovely, lovely arcs.
Probably at stupidly inflated prices.
Yes.
So only buy it if you're only pay for arcs if you're fiscally able to. If not, save them for beers at ECM.
I have to say, despite what I said previously about arcs and prices and stuff, although I'm getting my Python Mark II free tomorrow, I might actually have to buy a Type 8 because I bloody love the ship and I'm not sure I can wait 3 months.
They've got you. They've got you.
To be honest, though, Alec, those are probably that's probably the most cost-effective and the most bang for your buck you're going to get for those 3 months. Yeah, buying a ship that you in early access that you don't have access to in the game at the moment. That feels like, and also when we got the Python. And we talked about the Python costing relative to the previous ARC's prices. And even then, it felt like a justifiable amount. And now the Python or the Type 8 hasn't changed its price in relation to the to the rest of the ARX prices. So I still feel in my head I can kind of justify it in that way.
Can I ask a question about early access? Do actually, if I buy a Type 8,
yes,
with ARX, so there's this thing about you can sell it and then you can redeploy it anywhere you like. You just buy it for free again and sell it and buy it for free again, and basically instant ship transfer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is possible, but the main issue is you only get the ship that you bought. So
here's the thing. Here's my question. If I buy my Type 8 and I engineer it to the max, which I absolutely will, and I put all sorts of cool modules on it, I've effectively lost that ability to just buy another one for free, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would recommend when you grab your Type 8 and when you before you even start engineering anything on that Type 8, buy the items again instead of engineering the items that are already in there, because you cannot store the items that are already in there. If you go to store them, you just sell them for nothing, and that includes if you have engineering on them.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, that was a bit of a roundabout way.
Get rid of the free items.
Yeah,
even if you just swap them for the
for the same thing. Even if it's like for like, because if you get to a point where you're then taking the item off the ship,
okay,
you wouldn't be able to, and it's not as bad anymore because the engineering materials, the relative cost of engineering is so low now in comparison to what it was. The modules, sorry. The relative cost of engineering is so low, so you could just effectively just engineer another one. It costs shit all now anyway. But at the same time, it's a good thing to put in practice if you are buying these early access or pre-built ships that have the little everything. All of the modules will have it's got like a little shopping bag on them with some marks across the front. On the actual module, and that just means that it's a pre-bought thing that you bought for ARX. So just switch it out.
Right. Cool.
Right. I think we'll take another break if that's okay, and then we'll come back with the question of the week.
From the makers of the MB5 shaving drone comes the latest in personal grooming technology. Here at Saracen, we've heard your request loud and clear. You want something new. Applying all the recent technological advances. Introducing the Panther Clipper. Gone are the days of your unruly body hair making you look like a bedraggled alpaca. The Panther Clipper is the biggest, baddest shaver credits can buy. A shave so smooth it'll shave 10 milliseconds off your buckyball time. The new Panther Clipper from Saracen. It's exactly what you've been asking for.
Protecting settlements from villainous scum, it's Settlement Patrolman. The action figure every child wants. Wearing the all-new Manticore Dominator suit with light-up jump assist thrusters. Press his backpack to hear Settlement Patrolman speak.
Not seen you around here before, Commander. Is that a Karma P15 in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? Hey, don't point that at me.
When the horn sounds, Settlement Patrolman rides into action in his surface reconnaissance vehicle with pop-up turret and glow-in-the-dark wheel trims. Settlement Patrolman.
Surface reconnaissance vehicle and action figure sold separately. Available from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers. Microelectrode, ion battery, and circuit switch not included.
Hey Commanders, this is Mick from Crazy Mick's Reptile Emporium and Warehouse. Due to a hysterical ordering mishap and not reading the fine print, I'm currently in possession of over 10,000 snakes. Many of which are deadly, so everything must go. We have anacondas, asps, cobras, diamondbacks, fodlans, keelback, kraits, mambas, pythons, sidewinders, and vipers, none of which are capable of spaceflight without being strapped to a rocket. Need a pet for your cockpit? Buy a snake. Need to scare your mother-in-law and give her a heart attack for the insurance money? Buy a snake. Need to fill a beluga full of snakes to assassinate a witness on their way to a Federation courthouse? Buy many snakes. Bulk discounts are available at Crazy Mick's Reptile Emporium and Warehouse. You can find us in the Lave Business Directory or visit us at the former site of Sensible Michael's Shipyard and Outfitting Warehouse. Will somebody get these mother snakes out of my mother warehouse?
And
Oh,
welcome back.
I love that advert so much. Jeannie did such a good job on it.
Right, the question of the week that Claire posted during Sunday.
This was Alex's suggestion, and I'm sorry that it was late, but it was Alex's suggestion from a couple of weeks ago, this one.
Lovely. Have you missed the chance to get all 8 Titan decals? Hey, Ben's not here. And how would you incentivize players to get involved with the remaining Titans? Well, we know what they've done. So
Yeah,
let's pretend we didn't know that.
Well, I mean, a lot of these things we didn't know. So we have Commander Greybeard Seawolf, who says that they have them all so far, but they're currently stuck in hospital and watching Thor losing its control systems anxiously. Hopefully they'll be out in time to take part, but if not, there will be one pissed off commander. Get better soon, Greybeard.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well, my lovely.
Seconded. And that is harsh, isn't it? Where you actually have quite a significant length of absence in the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, I can't remember. We were saying something facetious on the show the other week to Ben about, I'll just spend a day. But if you literally on holiday or worse, away in hospital or something, then that is a bit of a bummer.
It is. There was me thinking I'd miss out on the last one, but for some reason, I just managed to get my 2 million in, so I was quite relieved about that. I've got Commander Straya. I got up to 2 before I stopped for a few reasons. Mechanically, it was rather repetitive and sometimes bug looped to bomb the Titans in open. Oh, that was the the one where it's always better to have one person to do the bombing and then let everybody else hits on the lipstick, if you like. Narratively, it made no sense for my commander to keep at it, as she's courting a Xeno Peace commander and learning the way of the scanner.
Yeah.
So it's if you want to be a Xeno lover, then you're not going to really be hitting the Titans, are you?
But at least you can justify it. You can be like, okay, yeah, I've missed some, but narratively, I'm not touching that with the barge pole.
Enjoy your scanning.
I've got one from Misericord. I can't collect all the decals, but I still want to take part in the final fights that I'm able to. At this point, I recognise that this is a special time in the history of the game, and everyone should try to make the most of it. Make memories, plan for the future.
I really like that.
I do as well. It is a special time, isn't it? And actually, the being there is should be more important than a decal.
Yeah, no, 100%. But also, people really like shit.
Yeah.
Especially free shit.
We really like getting free stuff for our actions. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Who have I got? I've got Dante Chnik. I'm going to say
Dantechnik.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Mhm.
That makes much more sense. Dantechnik. Yeah.
Dante Chiknik.
Dante Chnik. I managed to get each one so far, but with each one, the pressure grows to make sure I get them all now. It sure does. Yeah. Can you imagine getting 7 and not getting the last one?
Oh man,
that would be brutal.
That'll be me.
There's a reason that I make my dedicated Elite Day a Thursday. There's a reason that that's the case, just in case.
See, Ben's well out of it. He doesn't have any of that pressure anymore. He should count himself lucky.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's the equivalent of I won the lottery. At least you'd have to worry about the interest.
Oh. We've got Kilt 801. Well, I've never seen the community fail a CG with an exclusive module on the line. I think a double engineered SCO in sizes 5, 6, 7, one for each of the remaining Titans could be a very attractive offer to commanders. Can't think of a single commander complaining their FSD range was too big.
I bet there's one out there somewhere. Back in my day, when the game was proper and you could only jump 7 light years.
We had to go uphill twice to get to Shinrata Deswa.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Commander Andrew Johnson, hey AJ, missed one, will go for the others. Can't help but think more Titans will come, giving us a chance to get more decals. I hope not.
No,
The more we kill, the more I hope it's just done.
Well, I hope it's done for a while because, it has been 18 months for the Thargoid War. It'll be pushing 2 years, probably closer to the end, and it's.
How long ago was the hit? The shit that Salvation did, where when did that happen?
Don't know.
I think it's almost 2 years ago now.
I'm googling it.
The caustic clouds that are there after the Titans have exploded, and then they become non-caustic, don't they? A little bit later.
After about.
Are they still there? Are they going to stay indefinitely as places to go?
Yes.
Cool.
I understand.
As far as we know. Cool.
Yeah, as far as I know, they're still going to be there.
And dormant spire sites, right? They'll hang around as places to go. That's nice. Good.
Yeah.
So it was 4.0 was the aftermath. I don't know if that was like the aftermath update, and they were talking about all of those kind of things. Yeah, because that was when it split, wasn't it? 4.0. That was September 2022. So we're nearly 2 years from that. And
Jeez.
We were fighting Thargoids before then. Granted, the Titans hadn't turned up, but like it's been gearing up for a while.
I know. I mean, the Titan content has been great. It's just, I think everyone's just tired of it now. It's
everyone is. I think
Okay.
I think you'll find that the anti-Xeno crowd are still pretty fond of it.
Yeah, I know, but what I think maybe if it's rested for 6 months to a year, and then all of a sudden a couple of Titans come back in just to frighten people.
Yeah, I feel I everybody ready your glasses. I feel with the narrative change going towards like a more player-based narrative, I don't think that an insert of a Titan moving of a Titan moving back and infiltrating into the bubble, I don't think that that's something that's going to come back. I hope I'm not proved wrong in this instance.
So you don't think that the Titans will ever come back?
I hope not.
Oh, okay.
I think they'll appear, knock on people's doors, and then fly away.
Interesting. Well, I have got SP4H. 4. I have all 5 so far. In it to win it. Is it? So yeah, I'm right with you there. 5 for 5 so far. I want all 8. Although Alf keeps on dropping hints that something might happen, but we'll just wait and see.
Something did happen. They shoved they shoved everything back into the spires because the Titans and the Thargoids were taking a much more proactive view, and it wasn't to make it easier for people at all.
I think the last one's just going to run away so that no one gets the last decal. That's what I would
Can you imagine?
Because I'm like Ben. I've got no skin in this game. I'm not collecting them all, so I think the last one could just fly away, and it would make me laugh.
It does the Homer Simpson disappearing into the sand.
Yeah,
Brilliant. And then we're chasing the last decal around the galaxy.
Or there's just like an interceptor wearing a Titan costume just there.
Or even worse, about the last. The person who gets the last shot in on the final Titan is the only one that gets the decal.
Only that one.
There is not a chance in hell that all of the servers and all of the different like PGs and open and solo mode. There's not a chance in hell that Frontier has the server capacity to recognize who did that final shot. Not a chance in hell.
And the thing is, it would be someone bumping into the Titan by accident rather than actually firing on the lipstick. You know, it would be like someone like drifts into the side of the Titan and just like blows up, and then that's it.
Yeah, and it will be someone who hasn't done all 8, so they don't even notice.
They were just there to film a video.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be funny if it was Ben who got the last one. He's the only one that gets that.
Oh man.
They could tie it into Savlon coming back. It'll just be this bright streak of light hits the Titan. It's actually just Savlon's body. It's just found its way there using gravity and accelerated to a point that it just punches through the Titan.
Maybe we should have. What do you think is the stupidest way for a Titan to die?
Whatever it is, whenever this size 8 one does explode, the 8th one does explode. What we really need is for Ben to film it from the asteroid belt, about 20 miles away, so that we don't see it, because that's the most important thing. We have to remain consistent reporters.
I think everyone will want to join us for the death of the final Titan.
100%. 100%. Well, no, we won't see it, but we'll be there.
Okay, everyone from Commander Profane Pagan. Wow, I've just read the release log of tomorrow's update, and I think they answered your great question. Nice to think Frontier saw the problem like you did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they saw us coming. Right, so the question was, have you missed your chance to get all 8 Titan decals? Nicey says, yes, I have. The Titans are, the Thargoids are terrifying. Oh, look, some green spiral thingy has pulled me out of hyperspace and rebooted my ship. All jokes aside, they're not my thing, lol. That said, it's probably a me problem, not an elite problem. Cool. Nicey is also free of the stress of worrying about getting their 8th.
So many people
You
free
win.
of it.
Welcome to the team, Nicey. We have also got Commander Schnails. I typically missed the first one. I wasn't about for a few days, overly enjoying real-world stuff, and Tyrannus fell oh so fast, so I never had the chance to get in before it died. That has motivated me to not miss another, but equally a shame I'll never be able to earn all 8. I'll just have to settle for 7, hopefully if real life is permitting. I don't think any additional incentive is required. You either want to or you don't. The great thing about Elite is you totally get to pick your way of playing, so it's either going to be something you want or isn't. Neither side of that is in the wrong one. Good point.
Cool.
Blaze your own trail, Commander.
Wow.
Take part in CGs or not?
You decide. Exactly. Take part in CGs or not, you heroes. Steak Typhoon. They missed the first mothership because they were a total newbie to Thargoids. They missed another when they were on vacation. They bombed her dad solo and had an absolute blast doing it, pun intended, but they wanted more. They enticed some acquaintances to get the game and earn a few stars of their own. It's been a blast coaching them and learning together. It doesn't matter that their decal has a few stars missing. The real stars are the friends we made along the way.
Yes.
Incredible.
I mean, if that helps you sleep at night, yeah.
Oh, man. Yes, there you go.
Nice.
Amazing.
Alex,
Well, I wasn't sure if we were going to go around with our own ideas, but I did have one.
Go on then.
Well, I mean, it's completely blown out of the water now by the engineer. So pretend those engineering changes had never been announced. One thought I had, it wouldn't quite work anyway, because originally we had reason to go into the caustic clouds. If you'll remember, we all needed to go in after the Titan had exploded to salvage stuff, to get stuff to do the next one. But ignoring that and the engineering awards, my idea was that each Titan, so if you participated in the destruction of a Titan, the Pilots Federation would award you with a permit which would allow you to go into that Titan's caustic cloud after the Titan had gone. And basically, if you hadn't participated in the destruction of that Titan, the Pilots Federation would not allow you into that cloud. So it would be like an exclusion, a permit-locked zone, unless you'd contributed to the destruction of the Titan. And then each caustic cloud, because of I mean, I'm just going to spin some lore here, but because of the physical makeup of the system and its different properties, blah, 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 would have a different selection of free-floating materials in it. So if you participated in the destruction of a Titan, you had access to a floating in space crystal shard forest of different types of materials. So, Titan Tyrannus might have a cloud of pharmaceutical isolators, and I don't know. I thought it was quite a cute idea. I suggested that idea on the forums, and it did not go down well. But there you go. I quite liked it.
It was the fact that sort of if you don't take down the Titan, you don't get access to its wreckage.
Well, this is it, isn't it? With any proposal of something nice you get for doing a thing, you immediately get shouted down by the people who didn't do the thing and are unhappy that you got the thing and they didn't. This is
Why
why
are
we
you
can't.
gatekeeping the thing?
This
Stop
is why we
gatekeeping the
can't
thing.
have nice things.
You can't have nice things behind a gate.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my idea.
Oh hell. Back in a bit.
I don't have any any thoughts.
Yeah, it's because this whole discussion came, and it was a couple of weeks ago I proposed it, but I think it did come about because there were people kind of saying I'm sort of bored of this, and I know what it was. It was basically saying I've missed one decal. What is the point of me doing this anymore? I've done one. I'm kind of bored. What's the incentive for me to keep going back in? And I quite like, who was it? Was it Schnails? I quite like the idea of Schnails basically saying, if you don't like it, don't do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
The incentives are pretty sticker, right? And
Yeah.
ship kit, like that's your incentive to do it. Is those things.
Or the activity itself, if you really love Titan bombing, and it is fun.
And if that doesn't incentivize you, then it's cool.
Mm.
You got your stickers so far. You got your ship kit so far. You've probably made a butt ton of credits.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would have preferred? So at the moment, what you do is you get progressively more stars on your Titan murder sticker. I would have preferred a sticker for each Titan, like with the name of the Titan or a design for each Titan. Rather than adding a star to each one, it would just be I fought in that battle kind of sticker, rather than it being like an increment of, hey, you missed one, so now you're just not going to have that, like, because then it's like you can wear your Fargoid medals, you know what I mean? I got this one and this one and this one, rather than it being an incremental, because then it feels like you're never going to make it to medal 8, but then at least you just have like the participation of each Titan, whereas they're all kind of just like an amalgamation of the whole thing.
Yeah, I think I kind of like the idea of both. So.
Oh yeah, well that's true. Yeah, so have like one that increments and then have another one which is like for the specific.
Because we don't have 8 slots for decals on any ship. So that's kind of my.
So at any one time, you could only have worn 3 of your Titan decals. Is that kind of
yeah? So you wouldn't be able to wear all of my 8 badges as a badge of pride. But if there was one that I did a lot of, I put a lot of effort into, and I was really proud of being there for that first Titan go down, and then I didn't do the rest of them, to have some kind of decal representing that. And I know they're all like named after gods of thunder or thunder adjacent things, just like something that like maybe the art team could have just like cooked up in the same idea of like the what was it? The interstellar initiatives, like the Scourge and those kind of the Golconda, those individual things. I don't know.
because you don't have a. Because I'm not right. There's not like a number of kills counter decal, is there? In
No,
the store.
there isn't.
No, because I don't know.
There's like a fake one.
There's a
There's
fake one. It doesn't actually
with
count
tally
out,
marks.
does it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Because I was trying to think. It was like, yeah, that definitely wouldn't work because how many kills would someone have to work on a decal? Yeah. Okay. I take it back. I'd break a ship. Well, I personally wouldn't break a ship, but other people would break a ship. Be weighed under
Thanks. Excellent. Well, I think we'll move on to any other business, and there is only one any other business. ECM is now completely sold out. There's going to be approximately 160 attendees. So, yes, for those of you who are jealous, you can pop over to www.elitecommunitymeet.info to see what you're missing out on. Activities include a subtle mob audio experience. Don't forget your headphones. Thank you, Alec. A huge array of retro gaming machines, a 6-player Assetto Corsa racing setup, including wheels and pedals, a stand-up set from Red Dwarf's Norman Lovett, like he did last year. There's the Artemis Bridge simulator, clay modelling with Beetlejude, Hutton Orbital Live, Lave Radio Live.
I'm so excited for that. I can't wait to put you guys through that shit. It's gonna be so much fun.
Oh man, yeah. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be a standard Lave radio show. It's gonna be a Lave special.
Yes, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's gonna make us feel special as well.
I've done a fair amount of work behind the scenes for it. I'm really, really excited for them. You can see it if you. It's all going to be streamed live on Twitch at twitch.tv/ECM Live. There is a link in the show notes as well, but you'll be able to see that from I think 10 ?
Yeah.
Point at Chris for 10,
terms and conditions apply.
10 I think from about 10 a.m. on Saturday until like when Dockers finishes, basically.
Yes, midnight that is. So yes, we've also got sort of the wonderful Tokuso and the Hutton Mayhem Band, and of course the one that seems to go on forever and Fool No Like One always wins everything. So that's the raffle. And it's all in aid of the two wonderful charities, Special Effect and Hearing Dogs for Deaf People. So, yes. One final thing to mention, there are still a couple of places available for the miniatures game, and I put a link in the show notes if anybody would like to to take part. Has anybody got anything else apart from, well, it's really looking forward to Saturday?
I believe you've missed out one other musical interlude, haven't you?
What's that? It's not on the list. It's not on the list.
No!
It's not on the list, Chris.
How dare they?
It's not on the list that we have. We don't have that list.
I can confirm that mystery musical guest will be appearing at some point.
So I don't need to riot.
You don't need to riot. It's fine.
Okay.
It'll be a squeeze to fix them in.
There is more than the list that we have at the moment, but I'm really excited. I can't wait to see everyone. I can't wait for mine and Alex drinking plan to fail at the first hurdle. I can't wait to play Deer or Log. I can't wait to have cold Burger King on the Friday night. We won't do that again. Cold Burger King and hot Coke.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know how they managed it.
This year, the target is lukewarm Pizza Hut.
Lukewarm Pizza Hut. All other pizza places are available.
There will also be some Frontier attendees, but they are just going to enjoy themselves. Do not quiz them or interrogate them. They're not working. They're having fun. I believe is the line.
Yeah, but you know that someone will.
Yeah.
They're there for the vibes. Don't spoil it for them.
Right. So has anybody got any other business to shout about, or are we just leaving that for the moment?
We'll cover the other things that aren't ECM once ECM's done.
Yeah. Tuesdays might be a little hungover, that show. Right. Let's give a go our shout outs. Of course, our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio. They normally broadcast on Thursday. They won't be this week because they're preparing for ECM. For a bit of discerning command, the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. We're going to give shout-outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts. So hello to the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. The wonderful Loose Screws with their bad accents. And of course, if you speak French...
I just let the funky music do the talking.
There is also the Elite Dangerous podcast. This Grant's got me in stitches about that now.
Oh, no.
I'm there going, am I saying it right? Is it Elite Dangerous?
Elite Dangerous.
So, following on this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and the wonderful Commander Beetlejude. And we'll thank anybody who's turned up to annoy Chris.
We have had quite a few people after I managed to instance. Jeannie Van ZXL, Profane Pagan, Steak Typhoon, Real Merle. We've got Real Dan Fitz, accept no imitations. Adam Foster, who was trying to crash an adder into the bar. Apathis, Kevin the Stabber, and Soka42.
Some of those people I am seeing on Saturday and Friday. Yay!
I think that's the most we've had in the bar so far, isn't it?
It's quite a lot in the bar. Considering the late start to being able to actually see people in the bar, we've had quite a few people drop in. Also, random NPC that's behind me.
Special thanks, of course, go to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have all created music that we use on the show. But that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find the contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out on laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Alec.
Thanks, Colin. We'll see some of you in 3 or 4 days. Woohoo!
Thanks to Claire.
I think that might be a log, you know.
Thanks to Chris Mark 5.
That's a deer.
And of course, special thanks goes to today's tech specialist and contributor, the wonderful Chris Mark 4.
You're welcome.
Log. Until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, dear, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. You need a safe word. Space can be done. I'm going to see the galaxy.
Damn it. No worries, guys. Hold for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 6th of August 3310. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, there are new ships. Aegis announces material rewards. And there's no good news for users of Apex taxis.
The Python Mark II becomes generally available tomorrow. The Type 8 enters early access. And there are some more pre-built ship options to get you up and running quickly in a new line of work. The Python Mark II is a baby brother to the original Python. It has an extra large hardpoint, 2 extra utility mounts, better shields and armour, and it's both faster and more agile than the original Python. It balances those gains with a smaller power plant and distributor, a shorter jump range and a smaller fuel tank. The biggest compromise is the loss of optional internal compartments. With only one size 6 compartment and no class 5, the Mark II is clearly intended for combat and short-range work, and for doing everything well that the forthcoming Lakon Type 8 does badly. The Type 8 is a medium hauler, with the capacity greater than that of its big brother, the Type 7. It has more weapons, is far more manoeuvrable, and it doesn't look like a member of the Addams family. It has a decent jump range and can be fitted for reasonable survivability under attack. It's entering early access, which means that if you want one now, you'll need to shell out 16,000 ARCs, or 33,000 ARCs if you want the deluxe one, which comes with a nice red paint job and little flappy wings. What both the Type 8 and the Python Mark II do well is travel within a system. They are made for supercruise overcharge and can travel fast and smoothly over great distances between planets. There is a theory that these new second-generation ships will gradually come to supersede the original ships. But it seems unlikely that the great Mark II is going to fall from favour any time soon, even if it does wobble about a bit in supercruise. The other pre-builds being released tomorrow are a bounty-hunting Vulture and a Beluga passenger liner. Commanders are reminded that modules from pre-built ships cannot be stored, so please exercise discretion before applying engineering modifications.
Anti-Thargoid agency Aegis has confirmed that it'll start issuing engineering materials as an additional reward for commanders taking part in the war against the Titans. Albert Ezro, the agency's director, explained that independent pilots are vital to the war effort and that Aegis is keen to give due reward in return for commanders' selfless dedication. Engineers Rantar and Professor Palin, both engineers who have a never-ending demand for materials for use in modifying ship modules, suggested that Aegis might like to distribute free materials as this additional reward, and that's what will now happen. Aegis will track commanders' contributions to freeing systems from Thargoid control, whether by combat or non-aggressive means, and when each system eventually falls, all those who took part will receive a reward as a selection of 6 different Grade 4 and 5 materials, and a thank you message from Aegis. It doesn't matter how many weeks it takes, everyone who took part will get a share in the reward, with those who did the most work getting a higher level of rewards. But commanders need to keep stock of their materials balances. If there's not enough storage for the random materials gifted, they'll be lost forever. Given that materials are going to be so much easier to earn through missions and through gorging your way through the materials in high-grade emission sites, it might be something of a struggle to keep enough space in your material storage for the free gifts coming from Aegis.
Passengers will no longer be denied a free upgrade following an agreement made earlier today. And the SCO drive is getting even better. But there's bad news for users of the Apex taxi service. Liners with luxury cabins have until now been unable to carry lower class passengers, as the stewards have refused to allow ordinary people to sully the hallowed cabins of luxury. Under an agreement reached between commanders and the Associated Union of Cabin Stewards, passengers from cabin and business class will be permitted access to any unused first-class cabins from tomorrow, 7th of August. In other news of note, Azimuth's experimental weapon stabiliser modules will no longer make an additional power draw on the distributor. When buying a SCO-enabled frameshift drive, a new regulation means that the vendor must clearly label the drive with its expected fuel consumption, and a tweak has been made to SCO drives to make them immune from being mass-locked by small planets, as they already are for medium and large planets. This means that the SCO drive is a great way to get back into space after visiting a planet. The bad news is that the Apex taxi service, which is relied upon by commanders who don't own a ship or have been drinking too heavily to fly one, has still not retrofitted its fleet with SCO drives. So, if your destination is more than a couple of thousand light seconds away, you'll still have time for a power nap while you wait for the taxi to arrive.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.